Emulation is a great tool to relive and enhance old games. Particularly the PS2 emulator allows us to enjoy some fantastic classics in modern resolutions and better frame rates. A few months ago I have already shown a complete overhaul to Gran Turismo 4, which along with a better resolution also boasted an AI-enhanced texture upgrade and a vibrant reshade preset. Thanks to the community's efforts, we see more and more visual enhancements like this for other games as well. One of those games I will present today is one I played not too long ago. It's Konami's Simcade attempt called Enthusia. Released only a year after Gran Turismo 4 and a year before the PS3's release, it was certainly a looker on its own. Especially the environments were very impressively designed. However, lower resolution textures and interlacing held the game back from being truly timeless. But all of that will change today with a handful of patches and mods to fully uncover the beauty of Enthusia. First things first is a simple patch that removes the interlacing the game is using, making for a much sharper and clearer image. Next up we are using a complete texture overhaul made by Sal_89, which replaces every texture in the game with a higher resolution equivalent thanks to AI upscaling. As with any AI upscaled images, the results vary drastically depending on the source, but in general I think the game looks much better with the retexture mod. This is most obvious on cars with liveries, which are now clearly readable with hardly any pixelated edges. Last but not least, I have once again added a reshade preset this time around. I took everyone's critique from my last preset into account and created a more subtle look with less saturation and contrast. As with all things graphics and visuals, it's all subjective. However, looking at the game side by side with and without the modifications, I see a clear upgrade in visual fidelity. As always, there will be a link down in the description below where you can find all the necessary content to enhance the game like I did. The installation is identical to the one for Gran Turismo 4, so go back to that video if you need instructions on how to install it. But for now, while you're probably busy downloading the texture mod, let's jump into what might have turned into one of the best looking PlayStation 2 games. Yeah, the removal of the interlacing I think does the most, interestingly enough. I mean, the retexture mod is also nice, like the badges on the car look almost like... the quality is almost too good, like at least for my 1080p screen. But this looks heaps and heaps better. If you just watched the YouTube video, this is quite huge. And I'm still not entirely sure if I'm happy with all these settings. It's always really tricky to use. So yeah, you can, if you don't like the colors, you can basically disable the colorfulness. Doesn't really do much, except enhance it a little bit. HDR and DPX, as well as I think tone map, yeah, make the game pop a little bit more. You can disable one or all of these if you want to. I like bright and colorful games, but if you want to keep some of that classic PS2 dullness, you can. The biggest thing is honestly ambient light here. Ambient light does quite drastic changes to the way the lighting works in this. So you can see that, you know, the back of the car, which is obviously, you know, not directly in the sunlight, actually is like, you know, the colors are a little bit darker here. And everything in the distance that is directly affected by the sunlight is a lot brighter. I don't know, there's probably a word for this, but if you've ever looked into the distance somewhere, into like distant buildings or scenery or whatever, you probably notice that the buildings and everything in the distance kind of has this like fade over it, this haze. And it's kind of what ambient light is trying to emulate. So you can turn stuff on and on here or even configure it yourself. Like this is all open source, if you will. I think the one thing that doesn't look super good in this game, that definitely looks better in Gran Turismo 4, is the reflections on the car. The cars here have basically no reflections. I think that's a bit of a shame when it comes to the graphics in this, because otherwise the game looks fantastic, honestly. Especially now. Alright, Enthusia Live, let's go. So it doesn't really matter what you pick in the beginning, because you can just use all the cars. But I think I want to go with this one, this weird ass wagon. That sealed my choice there. Okay, we will probably not have a good chance here, but let's see. Let's try it anyways. Okay, let's hope for a good car. DB5 Vantage would be really cool. M2 is really nice too. I'll take it. We actually got a lot of points. Like that, our odds were really bad this race, so that was actually a fantastic first race. So I say goodbye to the pink wagon. Immediately not gonna use it anymore. Dude, I jumped over 105 ranks. Sick. Our game looks really damn good now though, holy crap. It's almost impossible to compare. Holy shit. How much better this looks. But this thing is definitely a lot more tricky to drive. Mid-engine rear-wheel drive, got wheelbase. Usually recipe for disaster, but thankfully this thing isn't that powerful yet. Marco Strada a day. Yeah, it's so cool that, you know, every track here, I think almost every track, is probably not every single one. But most tracks here have varying day and night settings and weathers. Cool stuff. This thing is really hard to drive without traction control, Jesus Christ. Really hard. Oh god. It's so slidey, man. Right, I just got a Range Rover. The game does look quite a bit better. It looks, I actually think it looks super nice now. Like the extra, like the bump and texture resolution, you know, especially on the cars, is really nice. The lighting, I think, looks a lot more vivid. Obviously the interlacing is also a huge factor. Just a really nice looking game at this point. Ouch. Fuck is that? I think it's a Volvo wagon. This is what I mean, I'm already driving completely different cars than I was using when I played it for the YouTube video. So that's a cool thing, like you can start a new career, just drive something completely different. Like it's all completely different. What are you doing here? Recovered 69 Enthu points. Nice. Oh dude, that thing is C-class even. Ooh, okay. Thing is, now that I have a faster car, races are not super difficult, which doesn't really make you progress that much. Like here I have the better cars, that's not really what the game wants you to do. I gotta say, I was especially like the rallying here. I think the rallying, or just generally off-road driving, I think has a little bit too much grip actually. I like a little bit more grip loss on these dirt trails, but still much better than in Gran Turismo 4, 100%. Like driving off-road here is a lot more fun, especially because the tracks in my opinion are better too. Honestly, the rallying in Gran Turismo 4 can be fun on the right tracks. On Swiss Alps it's okay, but when you take this turbo slippery, you know, handling model that actually feels more like you're driving on ice, and then you put me on a track like the Grand Canyon, yeah, nah. I mean, maybe it's fine on lower end cars, but some of the higher performance rally cars doesn't really do it for me. But Gran Turismo 3 rallying is super great. That is so fun. Especially Gran Turismo 3 had generally just better rally tracks. Like the tracks were just made for that handling model, you could really tell. Smoky Mountain Gauntlet, by the way.
Thank you!
Cool win. One of Subaru's most iconic rally cars of all time. Or a Swedish dad trying to get their kids to school. It's certainly quite fast. Faster than it looks. That's for sure. It's definitely too fast for a car that's still using plastic trims. I'll say that much. Okay, let's actually make sure to not hit the wall there again. So we hit the other wall on the other side, obviously. Dang, we didn't get it. We gotta stay with the Volvo. Would have been nice to have, man. This must be the only game that I know where you can actually drive on Tsukuba at night. Maybe in the modern Forza games you can do that too. It looks so much nicer at night, honestly. I think you don't really get a racing line here. The game does not give you the option to turn on a racing line. Which honestly quite helps if you're unfamiliar with the game. Like, even if you know the tracks, you don't exactly know how the cars react and behave in a, you know, in a given game. And so a racing lane can kind of like help you in that regard. Like, mostly I don't even use the racing lane to see where I need to go, but rather to see when I need to brake. Alright, actually managed to defend myself pretty nicely against the Supra here. Ooh! I'm definitely switching to that one. That one's nice. Oh man, this car handles so much better. Oh, this car handles so much better than the Volvo, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the difference in weight is pretty significant. That was a lot more fun to drive. That car does seem OP. The thing is, in this career mode, you don't want to drive too powerful cars. You don't want to make it too easy for yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to progress. Like, you'll only unlock more events and stuff if you actually challenge yourself. Oh, dude, Edge of the Road. I don't remember this map. I definitely want to drive on this one. Wait, is this a mirror match? Nice. Cool. Okay, let's do it. Let's see. You definitely have a good car for off-roading. Yeah, tracks are so damn good in this game. Especially with, you know, good tracks with good driving is such a good combo. That can 100% sell a game. Like, these two are like the absolute fundamentals of a track racing game like this. Especially like a, you know, a game that's trying to be a bit more sim. If you can nail the driving and puts great tracks in, it's almost everything that you need. Then you just bundle that up in a nice, fun package with good content. And there you go. Oh, look at the waterfall. I mean, if you want this to look like a true early PS3 game, you need to introduce a shit ton of bloom and a piss filter. That definitely looks like a PS3 game. Oh yes, I want to do Merge Crossing. Dude, low-key, Merge Crossing might be my favorite track. That track is so damn good. Yeah, you can really see stuff in the background, like these rocks there. They have this little fade over them. That's what the ambient light does in the reshade preset. Like, it's an effect that you also see in real life. Stuff in the distance, you know, has this haze over it almost. I gotta say it looks really nice. But our 34 is kind of smoking us right now. And it's gonna be tricky, but I think even if I don't beat him, I still get a lot of N2 points. I mean, maybe I can still clutch it out. Oh boy, that was not good. Okay, it cost me some N2 points, but honestly that was pretty fast. That was 100% worth doing. Yeah, he just has more grip, man. Can't really keep up. I could maybe still win this, to be honest, but if I get... we just both hit the wall here. If I still get N2 points from this despite losing, I'll take it. Oh, not N2 points, but we increase our ranking. Now we actually lose ranking. Oh, fuck. Disappointed! I honestly just take these corners less wide. I actually try to hug the walls here. There we go. Oh, we're ahead. Problem is you can't really see behind you. So you don't know where they're coming from. Alright, that did it though. Bonk. Let's try this one. Route de la Seine. Honestly, don't really remember this track that well. I think I only drove on it once. There's definitely a massive majority of fantasy tracks in this game. I think in terms of real tracks, you only have Tsukuba and the Nürburgring. I gotta say I quite like that. I get the appeal of driving on real tracks, but I think for a video game, fantasy tracks just work better because there's more interesting stuff you can do. You can make them look more interesting, you can make the layout more interesting. I think that just makes a difference. I think I might go back to something that's C-Class. Actually, I think the Altezza is the only C-Class car that I have. So let's use that one. There's Corvette in here. Okay, curious to see how that's gonna go. Wow, that looks good right now. Holy shit. This track works really damn well with the reshade preset. Holy shit. That just looked so damn nice. I kinda got used to the new look of the game, but god damn, that looks nice. I mean, this track looked really good before, but now it looks stunning, dude. Holy shit. Same, save state here. Ow! Okay, good thing I save stated. Looks really damn good. It's the ambient light here, man. Like, this effect here is what brings the magic. Let me turn it off, and you can compare. Like, it still looks good, but it's just missing something. You know, it's just missing that depth from before. Like, that ambient light is probably one of the best settings in reshade. Now if I'm gonna turn it back on, it just adds such a nice depth to the entire lighting. And no way in hell I could beat that Evo, by the way. That wasn't gonna happen in a million years. I think You're kidding me, man. What the fuck was that? What the shit? Fucking Cobra, man! That's the problem. You don't have a rearview mirror, nor can you look back in this game. And that's what makes it really tricky. Like, you can't really react to what's going on behind you. Yeah, it's definitely far enough away. Definitely gonna accelerate, but not enough. There we go. Bonk. We actually got the Evo that just clapped us. That's really nice. That's a Mustang. And that's Skyline. Why is the Yaris actually passing? I don't get it. This random ass pink Witz, man. Get fucked video game, honestly. Honestly, I cannot escape this fucking car. I just cannot escape this car, man. I gotta say though, this game gets sweaty very fast. If you actually want to properly progress, the game can be really sweaty. That's not necessarily something for everyone. Actually, Gran Turismo has its fair share of challenging races and stuff, but for the most part, it's fairly chill. This is really sweaty. I have to drive cleanly, I have to be fast, I need to deliberately take slower cars, and put myself into near unwinnable races. It's all a lot more sweaty, 100%. This just seems like a fun race to try out. Yeah, here we will 100% lose. It's just a high-speed race. I mean, I kind of want to try it out for fun. I'm gonna do a save state here, just to see what happens. Maybe this could be an easy clap. Holy crap. What is that Kamikara doing there? Yeah, they're braking. Look at this. That's what I was hoping for. This is definitely possible if the AI brakes for these corners. At these speeds, that's really not necessary. I mean, okay, at this point, yeah, a little bit. I'm not getting destroyed anywhere near as hard as I thought. Probably also helps that we got an engine upgrade already. I think if the opponents are way faster than you, they'll still win. But for these long, high-speed corners, they definitely brake way too much. So, despite having the faster car, they're not really getting close to you. Whereas you can just take a lot more speed through those corners, which basically confirms my theory that you're still able to win against faster opponents because they're slower in corners. So what you want to go for is tracks like this one where, you know, either the opponents don't take the corners well enough or where there's just a lot of corners in general because the opponents can just not cope. But tracks with a lot of long straights, you're gonna have a hard time winning. I have not seen this, dude. There's 3 settings for Tsukuba. Yeah, I think this is in the wet, but it's also dawn. Not dawn, it's more like, it looks like later during the day. Dude, there's another I love this game simply because it makes Tsukuba interesting. This is honestly one of my least favorite tracks because it's just so bland and boring. But honestly, it made me realize it's not really the track that's boring. Although maybe a little bit. But it's mostly that I've seen this track doing the same setting all the time. Always during the dry, during a regular sunny day. But here you get to drive it at night. You can, you know, like, it's like this weird 6 p.m. setting, you know? It looks like 6 p.m. sort of. Like, it's still day, but not quite. It's not complete daylight, and it's wet. Like, it just makes this track so interesting to have, you know, 3 different settings. I kind of want to see what this track looks like without all the reshade effects on. It looks even darker. Like, now it looks more like... now it looks more like 8 p.m. Dude, what did I just get? El Grand. Granddad, what the fuck is that? I think it's even faster than my car. It's D. I have an E-Class car. Yo, let's go, dude. Jump straight into R1, man. That's how you play the game. Take an E-Class... Oh, no, actually, I think mine is D-Class too. Take a D-Class car. Something like this. That's light, you know, very maneuverable. Get it into tracks with a lot of corners. And then do races that are ranked as really difficult. Kick easy win. I'm telling you, kick easy wins. Definitely want to go to the Dragon Range as well. Dude, there's just an MX-5 here, man. Okay, this is an easy win for 700 points. Let me do that one. This is the fucking MX-5 Roadster in here, man. It's definitely fast. You can definitely tell that. I think it has some upgrades. But so do I. Oh, that's sick, man. Yeah, actual toge races in this game. That's honestly really cool. Especially once again with the handling here and the physics. It's a lot of fun. Undoubtedly. Although this is definitely not in Japan. This is definitely in Europe somewhere. This is not a Japanese toge track. This is 100% in Europe, looking at the bollards and those road signs. Yes, I made it to rank 69! Okay, I completed the game. It's over, boys. I cannot continue playing. We have to stay here, man. Snow track. We get 1,100 points again if we win this. If we win this, I think we're Gucci, man. We definitely have the worst possible car for a track in the snow. That's for sure. You do not want to take a rear-wheel drive, mid-engine, short wheelbase car into the snow. That's cool though. I didn't know there were snow tracks in this too. I never actually got that far in the game because I didn't play the game correctly. Playing the game correctly means you basically want to take a lower-end car like this one, like a low-performance car, upgrade the developing fuck out of it, and win actually impossible races. Am I gonna do this? Oh man, am I gonna do the Nürburgring? Alright, Nürburgring. It's 1 lap. Thing is, I'm just gonna do a lot of mistakes here, I think. Let's just see how it goes. Interesting setting here. It's like early morning, cloudy setting. I like it that in this game, they're not always going for the generic sunny midday setting for these tracks. Okay, this car got a lot faster with that last upgrade. Holy shit, dude. This thing is a rocket. Because that's one thing that kind of annoys me about modern track racing games, you know, like especially like Gran Turismo and Forza. Like they always go for this generic midday sunny day setting for every goddamn track, and you can't, you know, there's also no different alterations. It's just, it makes these tracks even more boring than they really are, you know. So like that in this track, they actually went for something creative. But although the upgrading is definitely very linear, and I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of it. It definitely does a lot to your car. Like, this car drove so much worse and was so much slower in the beginning. Now, this thing does not feel like a D-Class car anymore. Okay, this is where things get serious. Oh man, we have to pull out all the stops because that Shabby is gonna come. And it's gonna come with a vengeance. I mean, right now, look at that. Okay, now it's pulling. Okay, nice. Blocked it once. Honestly, that may have been enough. Yeah, he hit the brakes super hard there. Yep, he's gone. G, motherfucking G, man. But that MO2 is a winner, man. But I kind of want to start driving some faster cars. What's something fast that I collected? I mean, I got this one here. I don't think I've really driven all-wheel drive cars so far. Nice. Let's see a new track here. Yo, look at that! How cool is that? Oh, this reminds me of Spa. Yeah, this is definitely inspired by Spa. Nice. Seems like a mix of Spa and Hockenheim, definitely. Dude, this is Grand Valley. This is Grand Valley from from Gran Turismo, 100%. This track feels like a best of album of racing, you know, yeah, just racetracks. Yeah, and this is High Speed Ring, dude. This is like this. Dude, this track has been scrambled together from all kinds of Gran Turismo and real world tracks, man. That is almost shameless. The section after the straight on the start finish line looks like a Pepega. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. With a lot of imagination. I think we've seen pretty much almost every track. I'd rather go back to Driving Revolution. Wild West Enduro, what the fuck's that? What? Okay, I'm glad I went in here. Oh, look at this track, dude. It's like a dirt stadium. What? Oh, this is really cool, man. A little bit of X Games vibe from Dirt 2. Whoa. Hey, the pit lane is open. Nice. Wow, they let you drive through the pit lane here, but not in the actual races. I mean, that's a bit bullshit if you ask me. Glad I went back into Driving Revolution. There's lots of stuff here I haven't seen yet. And that should cover all the new visuals have to offer. Thank you to everyone who keeps working on these graphical improvements, and I hope we get to see even more for other fan favorite racing games. As always, a special shoutout goes out to my patrons and YouTube members for supporting my content, and James for editing this video. I hope you're all doing well, and if you are going to revisit Enthusia, let me know what you think. Take care, everyone.